right now. So, hey everyone, my name is Gabriela Hidalgo. I'm marketing manager for GBM, and right now I'm in Costa Rica. So, welcome everyone to this webinar. It's a great pleasure for us to have you everyone on board for this webinar. Today, we're talking about how to design zero trust for network operations. With this security innovation for holistic threat management approach. And therefore we will have three speakers, which I'm thankful for them to be on board with us here today. So first of all, and Alvaro, I don't know if you can, yeah, thank you. So first of all, Alvaro, he's a digital solutions sales coordinator. He is professionally, he is a technology strategist with over 15 years of experience across engineering, pre-sales, design, and business transformation. He has successfully led teams throughout the Americas, gaining a comprehensive understanding of diverse industries. Alvaro holds 2 master's degrees with a focus on finance, marketing, and business leadership, as well as an executive certificate in strategy and innovation from MIT, with a special concentration in cybersecurity for managers. So, hi, Alvaro, how are you doing?
I'm doing better than yesterday's, worse than tomorrow. Thank you, Gabriela.
Oh my God, good phrase. Okay, thank you, Alvaro. Thank you for being with us. So, hi, Victor. So, I'm going to present Victor Vidaurre. He's also with the digital solutions team. He's actually a solutions advisor and is a seasoned cybersecurity professional with over a decade of technical expertise. Currently, he's serving as a pre-sales consultant. He is well-versed in technical solution design and cloud architecture with a strong focus on security solutions, including zero trust strategies. He's passionate about helping organizations strengthen their cybersecurity posture. So, hi, Victor, how are you?
Hi, Gabby. Hi, everyone. Hope you're all having a great day today.
Thank you. And last but not least, we have Jose Esteban Brenes. He's also from the digital solutions team. He's sales consultant. He has a degree in electronics from the Tecnológico de Costa Rica and holds various technology certifications from vendors such as Cisco, Avaya, Palo Alto, Fortinet, and F5. With over 10 years of experience in high-tech pre-sales, he specializes in automation and cybersecurity. He has contributed to engineering, career design, and curriculum development with Costa Rica's Ministry of Public Education. Recently, he has served as a product manager and cybersecurity architect for companies like Cisco, Palo Alto, and Fortinet, while also consulting and speaking at conferences. So, hi, Jose Esteban.
Hi, Maria. Hi, everyone.
Hi. So thank you, everyone, as I said, for joining us. We will record this meeting so you can review it later, and you can also share it with everyone you think can benefit from it. We'll have different forms that you can communicate with us during this webinar. So for example, we have raise of hand, as I'm virtually raise of hand as I'm doing right now. You can raise your hand and we can put your microphone on so you can make questions. We also have this fun emoticons. We have, for example, the clapping of hands. We have the funny face if in case someone says something funny, the smiley face, that speed up emoticon and such and such. So please be free and use them as you like during the meeting so we know that you're there and we can also interact with you. And also we have the chat where I'm going to write good morning everyone. So I'm writing it right now. In this chat, you can also leave us your questions and your comments. So please feel free to leave us everything you want to communicate with us in this chat, so we can know that you're there and we can know that you have some question or that you want to make some comment. So thank you everyone, and Alvaro, I think now it's your turn. So
Okay.
Thank you everyone for joining.
Thanks, Gabriela. Okay, hello team. As you heard, I am Alvaro Jaime. At Miami Direct, I lead a team of cybersecurity architects dedicated to helping organizations like yours to improve their digital security. Really, thank you for taking time to join us today. we understand it's not easy to make time, especially when you are responsible for managing a critical IT infrastructure. In this short session, we hope to share some of our experiences to bring value to you and your teams. Our agenda is divided in 4 parts. The first one is a review of the challenges and goals faced by NetOps teams. The second is an overview of Cisco Zero Trust Network Access approach, highlighting topics such as segmentation, access control, application visibility, and behavioral analysis. Number 3 is going to be a step-by-step guide to exploring different options for implementing a zero trust strategy. And finally, we'll have a question and answer session, maybe with Gabriela leading us through this part. Please feel free to use the chat anytime to enhance the discussion. This slide is our cover letter. With this slide, I want to emphasize that we are not here to focus on a specific tool or technology. That's not the main objective of this session. Many companies can partner with a technology provider, but what really sets us apart is the value we deliver through our services. You can see we have many credentials that show our expertise and abilities. For instance, our intelligence sources, data lake, our specialists, our technology partners, and of course, our references, not number of clients. References in this context mean companies that trust their security to our cybersecurity center. This includes services like MDR, SOC as a service, managed security, and more. Everything is connected. For instance, our data lake empowers us to operate our malware information sharing platform. Our honeypot net is one of our cyber intelligence sources. And we integrate that intelligence into our cybersecurity center. And we try to enhance our defenses with real-time and actionable data. We have also built a strong partnerships with organizations, including Europol, FIRST, and more regionally, CyberCluster. Well, having the right technology partner is of course essential. You can check us at Cisco Partner Locator. We have the highest level of partnership and we have multiple certifications, including Master Security. However, the focus today is more about a mindset than just security tools. Okay, technology is at the core of what we do, but the real value will lie in the ideas and concepts we bring to the table today. The real benefit of this session is using the right technology, like Cisco, which is the focus today, along with the right approach. My part is the landscape. NetOps team traditionally manages network reliability and availability and security. We know that most organizations like yours and mine have built many layers of defense over years, focusing on traffic coming in, going out, moving across the network. Tools like next generation firewalls, antivirus, and IPS worked well when the network had a clear perimeter. But now with a borderless environment, security has become more complex and costly. Why? For instance, I am now with my cup of coffee at my office, but at home. So we have more remote users, devices accessing applications of the company from anywhere. And business leaders expect us to increase productivity. But then the attack surface is bigger than ever. New threats like ransomware are harder to predict and manage. And this is where a zero trust strategy becomes essential. As teams, we recognize the potential of emerging frameworks like SASE. We recognize the value of a hybrid workforce to increase productivity. implementing tools to build a more resilient infrastructure. We love orchestration tools, expecting to improve efficiency across our teams. We have a set of initiatives as part of a broader vision that should reinforce what we expect to increase security, productivity, and performance of the network and of the company. But on the other hand, in the reality, time is a critical factor in overcoming the obstacles we face along the way in a zero trust strategy. Common barriers we have: complexity. Complex integration is not just about adopting new tech, it's about integrating it into a strategy. Many organizations still rely on legacy infrastructure that doesn't support modern practices like MFA or encryption. In this case, this will be time consuming and may require custom solutions. So this could create vulnerabilities over the network. Implementing microsegmentation is part of complexity. A core component of zero trust requires a careful planning, which is microsegmentation. We have to ensure every network segment has proper access control without disrupting workflows. Any misconfiguration could lead to security gaps and operational issues. We have two more factors, two more obstacles: cost and resources. Zero trust often requires substantial investment in new technologies and skilled people. And retaining that talent is crucial. Balancing investment in tools and talent with a limited budget can place a significant pressure on us, particularly in a smaller organization. Remember this, remind this, limited budget. I hope you can feel identified with me in this case. And then we have another factor: user experience. The security model of zero trust can cause frustration due to frequent authentication checks, which may affect productivity. In addition, individuals used to traditional security models might resist to the change, and this will slow the adoption. So at this point, we have discussed expectations versus reality. This contrast could produce security gaps and risk. They are unidentified at this point. So as a result, we can detect three main areas as challenges that we need to focus on to increase productivity, security, availability, and reliability. The first one is coverage and visibility. The challenge here is incorporating legacy systems that don't support modern security tools with full visibility. It becomes difficult to secure what we cannot see. Faster implementation at lower costs. Time and cost is the other factor. And without disrupting the business operations. But this is tricky with a limited budget. How can we effectively integrate our existing tools? The pressure now, as NetOps team, is on to do more, faster, with less. And last but not least, customer success. This is more than end users. It affects IT operation as well. The right balance between a strong security and a smooth user experience is key in this new cybersecurity landscape. So how do we overcome these challenges? Alvaro, please, let's get straight to the point. I know that you are thinking about that. And that's exactly what we'll explore in the next few minutes with my colleagues. Victor, time is yours.
Thank you very much, Alvaro. Just give me a quick sec to share my screen. And if you could please confirm that my screen is visible.
Yes, Victor.
All right, thanks a lot. Well, let's start off. Hello, everyone. I hope you're all having a great day today. My name is Victor Vidari. as Maria Gabriela mentioned. Today, I have the pleasure of presenting a couple of topics that we believe are essential to enhancing your network security. First, we'll start off by talking about Zero Trust Network Access for NetOps teams to set the foundations of our overview of Cisco ISE and secure workload. So first, let's start off with traditional network access. You can pretty much think of traditional network access as a castle with one big moat, the drawbridge where everything must come in and go out of. Just like that drawbridge, in traditional network access, the network perimeter composed of firewalls and VPNs are the main line of defense. And once users or devices are inside, they are largely trusted, and we have limited visibility into what is being accessed. Now, this works well when the majority of users and systems are internal and static. But with remote work, cloud adoption, and modern threats, the model starts to fall apart. If an attacker breaches a perimeter or crosses the moat, they often have broad access to the network's resources, which increases the risk of lateral movement within the organization. Now, we replace our castle and moat with an airport. On screen is a picture of the beautiful Piarco International Airport in Trinidad and Tobago. Hope they'll be able to see it in person one day, but for now, I would like you all to please think of Zero Trust as if you were thinking of airport security. First, at an airport, everyone, even the staff, must go through strict security checks, no matter who they are or where they are from. No one is automatically trusted based on their appearance or previous visits. Second, at an airport, travelers must continuously prove their identity and intent through ID checks, boarding passes, security scans. Third, access to certain areas of the airport, like boarding gates, restricted zones, or baggage claim, is only given based on what the person authorized for. People get access only for what they need, nothing more. These are actually the three basics of Zero Trust, the three pillars, or never assume trust, always verify, and enforce least privilege. Let's talk about Zero Trust network access. Zero Trust applies to every aspect of cybersecurity: users, devices, application, data, and the network itself. It emphasizes strict access control, continuous authentication, and monitoring, regardless of where the request is coming from. The goal of Zero Trust is to minimize the risk of data breaches and mitigate insider and external threats by ensuring that trust is never assumed and every access request is verified. But what about Zero Trust network access? ZTNA is a specific technology or solution within the broader Zero Trust model that focuses on securing access to networks and resources. It's the practical implementation of Zero Trust principles for remote access to applications and data. The key principles of ZTNA revolve around strong identity verification, context-aware least privilege access, continuous trust evaluation, and secure access. These principles collectively reduce and improve network security by ensuring that no entity is trusted by default and that access is always conditional and dynamic. ZTNA verifies users and grants access to specific applications based on identity and context policies. ZTNA removes implicit trust to restrict network movement and reduce attack surfaces. It is concerned with controlling and securing access to network resources, typically through remote and secure connections. It can replace traditional VPNs by providing users access to specific resources based on identity, location, and device posture while keeping the rest of the network hidden. Now, what are the benefits of ZTNA for NetOps teams? ZTNA provides granular role-based access to specific applications and services rather than granting broad network access. For NetOps teams, this reduces the risk of lateral movement from compromised users or devices within the networks. NetOps teams can then reduce exposure to attacks by ensuring that only authorized personnel access specific network segments and applications. They can also limit damage in the case of a breach, since users are confined to the resources they need, reducing the potential attack surface. ZTNA offers end-to-end visibility into who is accessing what applications, from where, and under what condition. This helps NetOps teams to monitor network traffic more effectively. They gain insights into application usage, potential threats, and unusual behaviors. This also allows them to identify and respond to security incidents more quickly with detailed logs and insights into network access patterns. ZTNA solutions often provide a better user experience compared to traditional VPNs. For NetOps teams, this means fewer help desk requests related to remote access issues, improving operational efficiency. And unlike traditional network access control, ZTNA uses continuous verifications of users, devices, and their security posture. This reduces the risk of compromised devices accessing sensitive resources, even if they're initially granted access. It ensures that network policies adapt in real time based on changing user and device contexts. With ZTNA, NetOps teams can adopt a more agile and scalable network architecture. As applications move to the cloud and networks become more decentralized, ZTNA helps NetOps teams by securing cloud adoption by controlling access to cloud-based resources without exposing the entire network, and supporting network scalability. It enables a rapid expansion of services and applications while maintaining strict security policies. ZTNA also helps NetOps teams secure remote access without relying on traditional, less secure methods like VPNs. This is particularly beneficial for managing distributed workforces who require secure access to internal applications from various locations. The onboarding and offboarding of users, as ZTNA can automate access provisioning and revocation based on identity and role, simplifying these tasks for NetOps teams. All of these benefits are oriented towards gaining visibility and network coverage, reducing NetOps times and costs, and improving user experience, guaranteeing customer success. So how does Cisco view Zero Trust? Let's go to some examples of Zero Trust using Catalyst and Meraki. Microsegmentation allows you to break down the larger network into smaller, more isolated segments based on users, devices, or applications. With Catalyst and Meraki switches, Cisco can segment traffic at layer 2 and layer 3, applying different security policies to different segments. Cisco Catalyst switches use TrustSec technology to enforce network segmentation. Meraki uses adaptive policy. These allow for a dynamic creation of security groups and policies that limit access to sensitive resources based on user roles and device types. For example, an organization can segment its network to ensure that only authorized personnel can access financial systems, while other employees are restricted to less sensitive areas. And when we incorporate microsegmentation with security group tags, we eliminate the need for VLAN or subnet dependency. For segmentation and access control, we can define one consistent policy that can be enforced regardless of the changes in the network environment. And this policy can follow the user's identity even if they change devices, move between networks, or access resources from different locations. Next, we have AI Endpoint Analytics, which is Cisco's next generation endpoint visibility solution with AI-driven analytics and network-driven deep packet inspection. As organizations embark on digital transformation journeys, they are adding more and more devices to their network. Studies indicate that endpoints, both user and IoT devices, are projected to grow at exponential rates into the foreseeable future. AI Endpoint Analytics' next generation endpoint visibility solution gathers deeper context from your network and IT ecosystem to make all endpoints visible and searchable. It detects and reduces the number of unknown endpoints in your enterprise using the following techniques. Deep packet inspection gathers deeper endpoint context by scanning and understanding applications and communication protocols of IT, building automation, and healthcare endpoints. Machine learning intuitively groups endpoints with common attributes and helps IT administrators label them. These unique labels are then anonymously shared with other organizations as suggestions, where similar groups of unknown endpoints may be observed. This helps reduce the unknown endpoints and groups them based on newer labels. Integrations with Cisco ISE enhance network visibility and security by sharing endpoint data, leveraging machine learning for device classification, and dynamically enforcing security policies. These deliver some great benefits for NetOps teams, such as enhanced visibility, which provides comprehensive profile for all network devices, improved security that allows accurate device identification, and anomaly detection, which prevents unauthorized access and detect threats. You gain simplified management by centralizing control through Cisco Catalyst Center, which simplifies policy enforcement and network management. And also regulatory compliance by ensuring only compliant devices access the network. As a network decision maker, how would you determine access policies that are right for you? You probably already have a good idea. You would obviously not want your network to let IoT devices access your financial records or your customer's database, but you would give such rights to your accountants and salespeople respectively. But can you craft your access and segmentation policies only on broad generalizations? There can be certain nuances that have to be taken into account. For example, You might want to provide access to your HR personnel only when they're securely connected to the office network and not when they connect from a local coffee shop. For defining a comprehensive access policy, you need to know how users and devices in your network interact with each other, so your net security policies can allow legitimate traffic and block the rest. Intuitive knowledge gives you a start, but not fine-grained control, because a lot of interactions may be hidden from you, and if you don't account for them properly, you can impede your normal expected operations. Group-based policy analytics starts where Cisco AI Endpoint Analytics leaves off. It uses endpoint groups that AI Endpoint Analytics creates, along with groups from ICE and Cisco StealthWatch. Cisco's group-based policy analytics give you detailed information you need to define and enforce effective access policies. Group-based policy analytics melds your views of groups with traffic flows. This provides insight into which groups are engaged with which others, better positioning you to assess the right policies for your environment. This unique insight can be crucial to your policy decisions as you translate your business needs into meaningful policies. Protecting your corporate assets with business intent-based policies has never been easier. Now, once we figure out the right policies, we need to get them into the network so the network infrastructure can begin to enforce them. This is where we use group-based access control, another feature built into Cisco Catalyst Center. This feature presents an easy-to-use matrix with endpoint groups as sources and destinations on its X and Y axis, and each cell of the matrix representing the policy down to the service, transport protocol, and port levels that govern communications between them. This makes defining granular interaction policies between groups simple and the whole process scalable. So no matter where you are in your policy journey, Cisco Catalyst Center's group-based policy features can help you develop and manage policies with greater confidence and ease. Group-based policies can help you reduce your operational efforts and enable you to make faster policy changes and reduce risk to business. Cisco is proof that there is value in preserving zero trust. Let's look at some of the numbers that we have here on screen. Cisco benefited in $3.4 million in annual savings from improved employee productivity, considering there were more than 400,000 fewer VPN authentications per year. Cisco saved $500,000 simply by reducing help desk calls. They had fewer than 1% of users contacting the IT help desk. As comparison, 7% is a typical baseline for security technology rollouts. And Cisco also averted 86,000 potential device compromises per month because they enable users to remediate devices on their own. And this is before these devices became targets. Now, let's move on to an overview of Cisco ISE, or Identity Services Engine. We go back to the foundations for zero trust within your workplace. Here's what we need to begin. We need to see visibility into all connected endpoints regardless of the scenario. We need to share with integrations with device management solutions, third-party vendors. Using PX Grid, you gain dynamic visibility with context to continually update the device to ensure the endpoint remains within compliance. And this is done across domains, wired, wireless, and VPN connections. We need to secure using network segmentation, which is achievable with deep visibility. And within these trust zones, you can provide the right level of access to endpoints to build and enforce a model of access based around least privilege. Again, this is dynamic based on the deep level visibility with context that ISE provides within its ecosystem. ISE, Identity Services Engine, is a network access control solution. And when you look at the complete ecosystem of integrations to bring multiple solutions together to secure the network and allow the connection, it is the only complete NAC on the market. It is essential in our zero trust journey, giving us some of the following benefits that you see here on screen. Endpoint compliance. All of these insights that you get that go into all the network endpoints and devices that are connecting, these give you visibility with context you need to ensure compliance. As network resources and devices connect, ISE profiles them to know what they are. Maybe there's a Windows, iPhone, Cisco IP phone, or IT device such as a thermostat, and ISE gains added context from third-party sources to automatically update a device's security posture to limit organizational risk. We have network segmentation. We've talked about the importance of this within balancing business objectives and maintaining protection to limit organization risks. With ISE, we are building security directly into your network. sorry, this dramatically reduces the attack surface, the scope of compliance, and limits lateral movement of malware to contain threats. We are not just blocking or preventing a threat from gaining access. We are actually turning the network into the defender. We are closing down access, removing the endpoint from the network completely. And this level of protection can be automated with integrations through PX Grid to give your passive security the intelligence and analytics solutions it needs to become an active arm of defense. So how does ICE enforce zero trust? In this first step, we have an endpoint like a laptop, mobile device, or IT sensor that tries to access a network. Cisco ICE immediately steps in to establish trust. The system identifies the device, verifying both its identity and its compliance with corporate security standards. Once trust is established, Cisco ICE automatically classifies the device based on its profile. This could involve identifying the device type as a workstation, mobile printer, and tagging it using security groups tags that we mentioned earlier. These tags are vital for applying the appropriate security policy. This lays the foundation for segmentation. Once the endpoint is classified and tagged, ICE determines what level of access the device should have based on its assigned group. This is least privilege approach, where devices or users are only granted the exact level of access they need to perform their task, nothing more. Access is restricted to specific parts of the networks according to security policies. At this stage, network segmentation is achieved, ensuring that only the right endpoints interact with the right resources, minimizing potential attack surfaces. Now, remember what makes zero trust different from traditional network security models is that trust is not a one-time thing. It's continuously verified. Cisco ICE continually monitors the endpoint's behavior and trust levels throughout the session. Vulnerability assessments are run in real time to check for any potential indicators of compromise. For example, if the device that was initially compliant becomes infected or showing signs of unusual behavior, ICE will automatically revoke its access policy or reduce access. This constant monitoring ensures that the security posture is maintained throughout the connection. This is critical in a dynamic threat landscape where risks can evolve quickly. Now with Cisco ICE, we can gain network segmentation and visibility, which offers us return over investments. $1.6 million saved by avoiding security events over 3 years, 200 fewer hours spent remediating major network security events, 98% reduction in time to implement network changes. This ultimately makes Cisco ICE an investment with measurable returns for the average customer. Up next is an overview of Cisco Workload. Let's start off with a simple scenario. A remote user using their corporate endpoint to access an application workload in an on-prem data center through an IPsec VPN connection. Pretty simple and straightforward. The user has immediate access to the app. But what happens if the user endpoint is compromised? Maybe they clicked on an email link that was phishing or downloaded some malware from a sketchy site. Now, in that simple scenario, the workload is also compromised. The attackers now have access into your network, and this is just the beginning. From that initial access, the attacker now has a foothold into your network to move to more advanced attacks. They can use lateral movements to infect other app workloads, other endpoints. They can use privilege escalation to gain access to databases that are on-prem or in your public cloud. Those databases or servers have sensitive data, which can then be exfiltrated and sold on the dark web for nefarious purposes. That simple scenario turns into a nightmare rather quickly. We have to recognize that today's threat landscape for application workloads is more complex than ever, with threats originating both inside and outside the network. As applications workloads evolve, we need to evolve our solutions and security solutions to mitigate and stop these attacks. While traditional perimeter security, such as firewalls, offer an important first layer of protection, modern attackers can bypass these defenses through sophisticated methods or insider threats. Now, how can you solve these challenges? With Secure Workload, every step delivers strong security and greater value. Application visibility enables customers to understand their application environment and realize quick wins. Customers can immediately improve their security posture by implementing best practice hardening policies, such as blocking insecure communication, coordinating virtual desktops in less than a day, blocking unwanted app-to-app communications, identifying software vulnerabilities, and applying virtual patching, and shutting down all vulnerable management ports in less than a week. And the process of adding context to create high fidelity policies generates future benefits for security and the organization. By providing actionable intelligence to continuously improve security and promote data hygiene, which is instrumental for external compliance. Now, Cisco Secure Workload uses powerful AI and machine learning driven automation. Cisco Workloads policy lifecycle automation provides security at the speed of applications. Policy lifecycle automation ensures accuracy, consistency, and internal policy compliance across the organization. It enables security teams to test policy changes against long-term historical analysis of the application and associated policies. This is a critical element of securing migrating applications to the cloud. Using an agent and agentless approach, Secure Workload applies granular protection for broad enforcement of zero trust microsegmentation. Because Secure Workload is open platform, customers can maximize their investments by integrating with existing security tools and automation to automate the process of closing gaps by unifying security controls, foster collaboration across security teams, and aligning with existing automation process such as CI/CD, with DevOps, just to go to the speed that application development and deployment times are now in our markets. Sorry. Now, to recap, Secure Workload is a comprehensive solution for modern application security, enabling continuous visibility, targeted segmentation, and real-time threat detection across hybrid environments. With these capabilities, organizations can confidently protect sensitive workloads, respond proactively to risks, and maintain the agility needed for today's rapidly evolving threat landscape. Secure Workload not only safeguards data, but it empowers teams to operate and collaborate with resilience and precision, making it a critical asset in any secure zero trust strategy. All right. And now, thanks. This concludes my portion of the presentation, and I'll hand it off to my esteemed coworker, colleague, Jose Brenes.
Thank you so much, Victor. So let me share my screen. Please confirm that you could see my screen, please.
Yes,
Yeah, we can
thank
see
you.
it.
Thank you, Jose. Estelle.
Excellent. So good morning, everyone. Today, I'm very excited to talk about how to start this trip on Zero Trust. As Victor shared to us, Cisco offers a lot of tools to improve and to help us in this journey. But first, what is Zero Trust, or as I resume, how we can understand Zero Trust in a few words? This phrase resumed that Zero Trust is not a product, it's a strategy. So we cannot make, or we cannot achieve this goal with just products. We have to understand our infrastructure. We have to make a strategy. We have to plan. We have to understand, and we have to design a lot of procedures and policies to achieve that. First, let's make a summary of some technical key points of Zero Trust. First one, we have to assure an access control based not on IP, not on MAC address, based on user identity and context. Then we have to go to some features like profiling and posture. Profiling is when we can classify an endpoint, classify a user, and posture is where we can assume and make some access policy requirements like update, like OS version, like endpoint security, something like that, to access to a resource. Then multiple factor authentication to assure that the user is who it is. Then encrypted connection, microsegmentation that Victor talks to us a lot. Third, then hidden asset from network, prevention sign attacks, and also the integration. Then to achieve this strategy of Zero Trust. But when we are talking about security, we always going to talk to the architecture. And sometimes when our teams want to talk about it, we have this complex architecture diagram when we could see some verticals like the user security, when we have to understand and talk about zero trust workflows, when we can set what's my secure access policy or what's my secure access technology. Do we have a secure email? Do we have a SASE or remote work with security? With VPN, how's my posture, how's my telemetry, my EDR, my XDR? We can set about our network security. Do we have some firewall layers like my edge layer, my DC layer, my segmentation layer? Do we have a DDoS protection? Do we have a NAC and network access control solution? Do we have a WAF? Do we have some SASE elements or sort SSE elements? And if we go to the application layer, do we have a WAF? Do we have API security? How our APIs communicate with others? It's the communication secure? Do we have a map with all communications? So this becomes very complex. And it's not enough to analyze our architecture by design to achieve zero trust. One of the key approach is understanding our business flows, our use case scenario. For example, in this slide, we present different kinds of employees, and they are accessing to different resources like private applications, like internet, like API, like PLCs. So, for example, I'm starting with one on-prem employee with a trust device. We want to access to a private application. What tools and what problems and what threats we have in this communication? For example, with a remote employee, these threats are the same, or with an industrial zone appliance or computer, it's totally different. We need to understand that every use case, every different business flows has a different threats and they need different protection layers. For example, on an on-prem employee with a trusted device, we need to understand if we have the sufficient endpoint security like mobile, the MDM, the antivirus, an anti-malware, or an EDR. We have a device health, we have DNS connector, we have web security connector, etc., etc., etc. In the NAC access security, we have an identity authorization. Do we have policies, tagging, and a data center? When we are going deeper, do we have a malware? Do we have firewall? Do we have etc., etc.? This analysis help us to understand how our organization and in every use case, how we are protecting our resources. For example, we can separate these different tools or these different threats in different verticals of security. For example, the first point, the EDR, the endpoint security, we can divide on user endpoint security. The firewalls, the network access controls, the DDoS, we can divide it on a network and cloud security. And of course, if we are talking about a private resource, we can do it, or we can select it or a group on an application data security. And this kind of analysis, when we use every use case and understand which of our tools help us to protect against every threat of this use case, generates a different approach of zero trust when we can assure that we are secure in terms of tools. But then we must go with different use cases. For example, an on-prem device, we could map it to a specific solution. For example, with Cisco, we can use Cisco Secure Endpoint to do the antivirus, the anti-malware, the device health, the DNS security. We can use Cisco ISE or Microsoft Entra ID to to the identity, access, and tagging. We could use the Cisco WAF to protect our application. We can use the Cisco DDoS to make denial of service protection. Of course, our Cisco firewall. Mapping our solutions, our technologies, and to a different use cases, we could understand how mature is our company. Other use case, the remote employee to a private app. Other use case, an application communicating to another application. If you see there's a different set of tools protecting this communication. And of course, a different use case, totally different use case, that is OT security, when an industrial equipment or industrial HMI communicates with a PLC, when we cannot use the same framework, the same solutions than a user that it's communicating to internet, for example. What happened when we analyze first the architecture and then different use cases? For example, this is a government education institution when we made an analysis of zero trust. First, we draw the architecture, there's their network architecture, and of course their security architecture, what's their assets, their data centers, where the users connect to the different resources, and understand what tools do they have. For example, in this use case, they have endpoint and SaaS tool like all Microsoft set with MFA, with EDR. They have network security with Cisco ISE to the NAC solutions. They have Duo and Entra ID to an MFA solutions. They have a checkpoint firewall. They have all cloud security from Microsoft. And their connection it's very simple. They have their services, they have a cloud and 2 data centers, and the users connect from branches and remote user. That's it. They don't have OT security. Just the first analysis is very simple. It's just an architecture. But what happened when we go deep to an use case understanding? This is the same employee, the employee on the principal office. And this employee want to go to different resources. First, the internet, the cloud app, on-prem data center, and public application. And we made an analysis in which of the tools that have the client are protecting every communication to the different assets. So first, we can map how they are using the tools, how they are using the expenses, the money that they are paying for the different users, in which use cases, and understand different gaps. For example, the firewall was a gap in this customer. They doesn't have a NAC in their infrastructure, so this is one of the biggest gaps, and we can determine that analyzing the different use cases. And then if we go to the other use cases like the remote worker accessing the different resources, we notice that they doesn't have an SSE solution when they can have the same policy, firewall policy, the same access policies as they were on the main offices. And then we map again the different solution to the different use cases. This is another example on specific use cases. We don't protect or we don't analyze a user. We analyze a resource, an AS400 that is a financial server used just for financial processes. And we make the same analysis on the perspective of network security, how the site-to-site connection affect this server are web content filtering when accessing this web server? Do you have a network detection and response solutions for the server? And also with other verticals like Zero Trust Warface, the employees that access to this server have multi-factor authentication. We do a microsegmentation for this segment, and just the employees that have permissions need to work with this server are accessing to them, or every single one employee of the company could access to this resource. So this kind of analysis on a zero trust perspective made us to understand how our tools and how our policies are producing a real zero trust model, or how we are using correctly the tools that we have. For example, we have seen that different approaches, but what happens when we need to go deeper to define policy and integrations? We have to make a lot of questions. For example, where's the first question is, where's the sensitive data? We need to know where and what are the main data, where is it stored on the cloud, on a data center, on a specific server. We need to understand who is accessing to this sensitive data, which one, when, how, from where. We need to understand the access control policies. We need to make it very granular, understanding how to block, how to quarantine. And as Victor says, we need to do it in a dynamic way, not just with standard policies and static policies that can help us to achieve some of our goals from giving a right experience to our internal and external customers. And then understand how vulnerabilities are affecting us. Do we have a user behavior analysis? Do we have a detection of a possible attack? So to create a logical security perimeter and to understand how we need to design our policy sets. For example, if we are using Cisco TrustSec, that when we can integrate Cisco ISE with our Cisco Catalyst Center and our Catalyst infrastructure, we need to understand and to make 3 steps. The first step is plan the security groups. This is the key point on how we can deliver a correct and an efficient policy with the correct integration. We need to understand how every employee on every resource is connected, where and how they need to connect. For example, if I am on a financial group, I need to connect to the financial servers, but not to the IT servers. The IT team need permissions to read and write to everyone. The sales team just need to go to the CRM and the sales tools. So we need to plan, to understand, and to think about these security groups. Then we need to deliver and to make a correct mapping on our AD or our identity services to create the correct groups. Then understand and classify correctly the destination objects to make a correct classification. Then make different kind of policy based on not just the user and the endpoint, defining times, defining frames, defining condition, defining posture requirements. Like if we are on a geographical zone, we cannot access some other resources. If we are in a different schedule. For example, if I work from 8 to 5 p.m., I cannot access some different resources after the 6 or 7 p.m. Or if I am from here, I can access this extremely delicate resource, for example, kind of that. And then one of the key points of this analysis is the monitoring of how the policies are working. If we need some adjustment, or if we need some auditing about the access and the uses of the content. If we go to a secure workload example, the actions are very, very similar. We can set a lot of policy with 4 simple categories: the action, the consumer, the provider, and the service. That's the main classification of a policy. So we need to map these 4 characteristics before we set the policies. Well, to resume, or to summarize, the zero trust, we need to understand that zero trust is not a product, it's a strategy. And we talk about some great tools to achieve these goals and our strategy to start this journey. So thank you so much for your time. And if you have any question, please, this is the Q&A space.
Thank you, Jose Esteban, Victor, and Alvaro. So with this, we start wrapping up the webinar. And as Jose Esteban said, we're open for any questions. So let's start with one, and then to anyone who's there on the other side, to everyone who's participating in this webinar, we are going to make the raffle, or we're going to make the announcement of who's the winner for the free security assessment. So let's start by telling them, I don't know if Alvaro or Victor, by telling them what's in the assessment and explaining them a bit about it. I don't know if, let me see if I can.
Yeah, sure, no problem, Maria Gabriela. This assessment is basically an assessment based on Cisco Umbrella. It's a 30-day free for you guys. It's free. Obviously, there's a cost that we would like to assume just to get you guys going with your security and strengthening everything. It's based on Umbrella, which is a DNS security solution. So pretty much for 30 days, take all your network traffic or your DNS traffic and send it to Cisco Umbrella's cloud. And there, Cisco does certain level of analysis and detection and blocking on anomalous, malicious DNS requests. For those 30 days, we won't only just activate the solution, but also you'll have some weekly reports. We'll have some sessions on a week basis where we can check to see what's going on, what are the interesting insights that we are seeing on its dashboards, and you'll get obviously some detailed reports on all the blocking and the information that's following up.
Okay, thank you so much, Victor. So yeah, I'm showing here the flyer, Design Zero Trust for Network Operation. And yeah, as you said, it includes weekly reports, detailed data on DNS requests, and security blocks. So that's what we're about to name the winners. So let's get on with it, and then we'll do one or two questions more, and then we'll wrap it up. So let's do it by numbers. So I don't know if Victor or Alvaro or Jose Esteban, who wants to give me a number.
Victor is the.
I got you there. I got you there.
Okay, so just a sec, Victor. Let me just
No
see who's in the call to make sure that I don't mess this up.
No worries.
Okay, so okay, a number from 1 to 25.
1 to 25. Let's go with my lucky number, which other people see as unlucky. 13.
Okay, so the winner, let me just read it out loud. We have here, Varric Dania. So if Varric is in the call in
Congrats.
the webinar, yeah, congrats. So Varric, we will get back to you. I will write the winner down here in the chat. Varric Dania. Oh, are you speaking? Hi, Varric.
It's the tiniest of people.
Hey, Varric.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if he can hear us or not, but okay. So Varric Dania, we will get back to you and we will tell you how we can make that security assessment with you, how we can manage and everything. So we will get back to you. So thank you, Victor, for the number. And just let's wrap it up with one final question. So the final question I have here is, so yeah, companies are already managing a lot of security tools. So won't the CTNA just add more and more complexity to network and security management? So who wants to answer that?
I'll take that again.
ahead.
Thanks, Maria Gabriela. So yeah, ZTNA can actually integrate with your existing identity and access management systems, cloud services, and endpoint management tools. This integration enables you to consolidate access controls within a unified framework, which can reduce the number of redundant tools over time. ZTNA centralizes access policies and reporting, providing clear visibility into access events, which helps security management without compromising coverage. This is pretty much just breaking down those silos that exist right now in the cybersecurity teams and in infrastructure teams, and allowing to implement certain tools that are transversal to all of those silos, and just giving that extra visibility, coverage, and all of that help that is needed to manage all of these security tools.
Sorry, was on mute. Okay, thank you, Victor. So I think with this we can wrap it up. I don't know, Victor, Alvaro, Jose, if you have one more final words, so we can wrap it up and we can say our goodbyes to everyone. So no, let's start with Alvaro. Just for your goodbyes.
Thanks a lot for being here with us. We hope we have a second session to move forward, and see you next time.
Thank you, Alvaro. Jose Esteban?
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Jose Esteban. And Victor?
I greatly appreciate all the time that you've given us, and hopefully the insights that we've given to you today has helped you on your zero trust journey.
Yeah, thank you guys. So, and I'm leaving on the chat the miamidirect.com website, so you can check it out, check us out, sorry. And you can check all the products and services that we have going on over there, not just only cybersecurity, but also laptops and more. So just go ahead and check it out. Thank you everyone for joining us, and thank you for this webinar. Thank you guys for being here with us, being the panelists, the speakers. And thank you, of course, Montserrat and all of the rest of the team for doing this, for managing this webinar, making it possible. Thank you, everyone, and have a good day. Bye.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.